Hi everyone, my name is Glenda with SureFit Designs. In this designing tutorial, I'm going to show you how to design the double French dart. What is that, you might ask? Well, let's take a quick look at this mannequin. It's where the bust-fitting dart and the waist-fitting dart have both gone over into the lower side seam area. And I'm going to show you how easy that is to do. First of all, I will be using a bodice blueprint. And for those of you unfamiliar with SureFit Designs, I call your sloper a blueprint, and that's because it fits your body exclusively. Again, for those of you who are unfamiliar with this fitting system, you simply take your body measurements, apply them onto a graded master pattern which has been graded according to your body measurements, and the result, of course, reflects your body shape and size, which is great. It's exactly what you need for your body to have patterns look good on you. So this is the bodice blueprint right here. And you'll notice that there is a crisscross in the middle. That is your apex, and we're going to be designing in and around that apex. Now, with the SureFit Designs dress kit, there is a complete instruction book that goes with it, and on page 22 and page 23, you're actually going to see how to move the dart around. But this is the process that I'm going to show you in this video, and we're going to end up with 2 darts in the side seam. These blue darts that you see are called the dressmaker's darts. They're the ones that you sew out for good fit on your body. We want to draw designer's darts, and so that we can design with them. And so I'm going to use a different color of pen. And when you're at home, please don't use pen. You're going to be wanting to use pencil so that if you make a little oops, you can go in and erase it easily. But for the sake of demonstration here, I am using these pens, and sometimes they do smear and get a little bit on the messy side, and that's why I certainly don't recommend them for home use. So there you can see I've got 2 green darts, and they are called the designer's darts. Now, before I start cutting that all apart, I do need to draw the position for the double French darts. And how I decided where I wanted them to go on the side seam was I just visually divided that space into 3 sections, and then I measured and came down 2.5 inches from the bottom of the lower leg of the dart and up 2.5 inches from the waist edge, and the remaining space looked pleasing to my eye. So now what you're going to do is I'll draw those lines in pink so that you can see them a little bit more distinctively. That'll be the lower dart, and this will be the higher dart. And it will look like that. Okay, now we get to start cutting all of this apart. And because I am going to be cutting apart and going up into the apex, I want to take a piece of tape and just stabilize that area as well as possible. And sometimes it still falls apart, but we do our best. And then I'm cutting on the top leg of the designer's dart on the side seam, and now the bottom leg of the designer's dart. And you want to remove that completely. So that would look like that. Now I'm going to open up the first French dart. You know what, I think I'll come in from this direction like this and go towards that apex, and I'm just going to finish that off with the scissors like that. And then I'm going to pivot that side dart shut, and it really is an amazing process. When you close your side fitting bust dart, it opens up your new dart in the area where you've cut, and you maintain your correct bra cup size, which is great. That's what we want. Now, before I go any further to open up this one, I do need to back that space with tracing vellum. So I've just got a prepared piece, and this tracing vellum, you're really going to love it. It is see-through and durable and strong, and as I said before, you're going to be drawing in pencil, and if you do make a mistake, It's so easy to erase this and it won't go into shreds and holes like a lot of tracing materials do and tracing papers do. If you've never tried this before, I certainly recommend doing that. And you can see that what I'm doing is taping this down very, very well because I don't want anything to fall apart on me in there. Okay, I likely need one more little piece right here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and transfer this dart over to the side seam position as well. So I'll start cutting on the green line. Again, remember the green line is called the designer's dart. And I'm cutting up to the apex marking, that little crisscross, and remove this dart. Now I need to cut open on the lower French dart. Cut up to the apex. And I'll just finish this off with my real sharp little pointed scissors here. And to make this dart, all you do is swing and pivot that waist-fitting dart closed. So let me tape that in position. And it will look like this. And what's happening here is it's opening up the dart in the lower side seam area. Once again, I do need to position some tracing vellum underneath there, like this, and I'll get that all taped in place. And then we need to do what's called establishing the dart tip, or your dart stitching point. You never ever want to stitch all the way up to your apex, because that wouldn't look very flattering. Normally, a dart is stopped back about an inch, inch and a quarter, inch and a half. And I've found with French darts that about an inch away from the apex is plenty of distance away to stop that dart tip. And so you can take your seam gauge and measure, but that's approximately 1 inch. So what I'm doing now is I'm drawing the actual stitching lines for the dart, and I'm going to draw them in red so that they stand out distinctively different from the pink lines, which were the cutting lines that I used to create that dart. And I'll do the same on this one right here. And now I've got the appropriate stitching lines for that dart. And you need to do what's called perfecting the dart cutting line. And so now I'm going to take this tracing vellum, and I'm actually going to fold this dart in position as if I was stitching it. Going to hear a lot of crinkling of the tracing vellum as I get this folded into position, but it's just as if you were stitching this dart closed like that. And I'm taking a piece of removable tape and just taping that down. And you can see what's happening here are the side seam is coming together just as if your darts were sewn in place like this. And you need to have your seam allowances in place in order to do this. So now you've got that nice straight side seam line. Your darts are sewn in position. I've actually folded them in position. And now what you're going to do is just take your rotary cutter or a pair of scissors and cut on the cutting line so that you've got your seam allowances, of course, in place there. Then you just remove all of that, release this removable tape, and open those darts back up. And what you've done now is created the actual, that tracing vellum. I'm going to get rid of that little chunk right there because that was folded out of position. Okay, so now you've got the correct cutting line for both of these darts, and as I said, that's called perfecting the dart cutting line. And that's how easy it is to move the dart around and create the double French dart. Now, when I did this test bodice for the mannequin, once I got it done, I had it designed originally with just the high jewel neckline, and I put it on the mannequin, and I looked at it and I went, oh my goodness, the darts look beautiful, but the neckline's kind of boring. So I went ahead and cut a sweetheart neckline, and look at the difference that that makes. It just really changed the whole appearance of the entire garment, gave it a little bit more pizzazz. So let me show you how easy it is to do a sweetheart neckline. I actually measured down from center front approximately 4 inches, and then I simply did this curvature on the center front of the pattern using the designing stylus. I know you're going to absolutely love this tool, and created a sweetheart neckline and then cut that away. And of course, on your finished pattern, you would need to add seam allowances and create a facing so that you can finish off those raw edges. But that's easy to do, and there are directions in the accompanying dress instruction book on how to create facings. So very simple to change neckline designs and give something a little bit more visual appeal. So if we take a look at Molly the mannequin here, we've now got a beautiful double French dart. We've got a very attractive neckline, and it doesn't take much imagination to put a very simple skirt on here and sew it out of black, and you've created what we call the little black dress. You know, the little black dress is a wardrobe staple, and it's a classic, goes from year to year, and looks great on so many people. This would be gorgeous sewn out of black Dupioni silk or this beautiful piece of jacquard. It's a woven jacquard. It would just look lovely. So with a little imagination, you can take your basic sloper, your basic blueprint, and turn it into so many different designs. With SureFit Designs, you're going to see all kinds of designing ideas that are given to you in the accompanying instruction book. And I would say this and ask you this, ladies, that if you've liked this video, please make sure that at the bottom of the video here that you check off the like. And if you leave a comment or ask a question, I always do get back to all of my customers who ask questions. And the other thing that I'm going to ask you to do is make sure that you subscribe to the SureFit Designs YouTube channel and to my Google Plus page. And the reason is that when I do put up new videos, you're going to get instant notification of when they become available. And the other place that you can find all of my videos in a succinct library format is in the SureFit Designs Learning Center. If you just go on over to the video library, all of the videos are labeled and numbered and categorized for your easy reference so that you're not having to click around in YouTube wondering where that last video went. There you're going to find all kinds of help to get you great fitting techniques and tips, sewing tips and techniques, as well as designing information. And I hope you enjoy looking at all of the videos within the SureFit Design sites.